Good morning. My name is Kendall Buck, President, Owner, Operator, Heritage Flooring. Making this video today to put some things at rest. We operate our business with integrity, with honor, and to creating a tradition to give to my children. I named the business Heritage Flooring so that our kids can have something. I have 4 children, all boys, to give them something to their generation as well and for their generations to come. So when I do work, I think of them. I think of trying to excel this business and to create something for the future. It's not about trying to make money quick, so we're not the most expensive. It's not about being the cheapest, because after all, we're in it for making a business for our children. So we're right in the middle. So to get to the point, I had 2 complaints in the past 3 years. In the first year of business, only 2 complaints. In the past 3 years, I've only had those 2 complaints. My first year of business, I did $275,000 in sales in 9 months, from May to January. I had these complaints because a customer provided their products, I installed them, and you can only work with as good as the products that you're working with. I took it upon myself to trust that these people were going to give me what I would hold up to standards of being great products. And to this day, I don't use anyone else's products for their installation just because of these 2 incidences. One incident happened when a customer bought products from Lowe's. They took advantage of special financing and got a great deal. But all of you know, it's not about getting a great deal. It's about getting what you pay for. Because that's, after all, what it is. You get what you pay for. The customer bought a bamboo from Lowe's. They had it installed by Heritage Flooring. I was the installer. They were very happy with the job. I went to install the transitions, and the transitions were painted black. I'm not a woodworker. I would not ever understand why they would stain a wood floor but paint the transitions black. Needless to say, we installed the transitions just like any other installation company, using a Loctite or some type of liquid nails or whatever they would use, but I use Loctite. It's a high-dollar product. Install them and then hold them down with blue 3M painter's tape. We installed them with this painter's tape. After 24 hours, we were back to remove the tape. The finish pulled off with the tape because they were not stained. If any one of you know of how products are stained and refinished, transitions are to match the floors identically, with the same stain, with the same method as they used to stain the floors. If there's a varnish, they would use the same varnish on the transitions. But in this case, they painted them black. Needless to say, when the tape came up, it shouldn't have removed the paint, because after all, it's a painter's tape, 3M. Some of the best tape that's out there. This customer was in outrage. Not easy to work with. Used her legal position as a New York lawyer's assistant to try to threaten me about these transitions when I tried to refute the battle through Lowe's, through their products. The outcome of the situation was not pretty. She wanted me to reimburse her for the transitions that were ruined, which weren't all, but a majority of them. At this time, my business was young. I tried to work out a situation with this Ashma, this client, with the wood flooring. Did not pertain to her that any of this mattered. It was my fault and no one else's. So I left it alone, regrettably so, because now I have this lingering over my head for the past 3 years. And I'd like to get this settled, that I tried everything I could do, manufacturers and products are warranted through the manufacturers. If it's not installed by their standards, it won't be warranted. I study these standards. I study the practices of new installation, new products yearly. So I'm up to par with what's out there and what's available. That was the outcome of that situation. The second problem in my first year of business, let me remind you that these two are the only issues that I've had reported on Better Business Bureau or ripoffreport.com or any other issue in 3 years, was a grout issue by a client named Michelle. She provided her tile, she provided her grout, I provided my adhesives and my crack suppressants. I wasn't the most expensive, I wasn't the cheapest, I was right in the middle. That's why they picked us. Not the most reputable to her eyes, but she still chose us because she thought that she would get what she would pay for. After the installation was complete, I gave the instruction of not washing the floor for 3 days and allowing the grout to cure, like I do for everyone. I've been doing this trade since I was in high school. Next year will be 14 years that I've been an installer, or messing with flooring, as most people would say. So, I installed her products to every standard that I've always learned. Pre-mixing the grout dry in a bucket with a new paddle, new bucket, prior to mixing with water. 25-pound bags at a time. I did this in a way that I was taught by manufacturers across the world. Come to find out, the grout was not let to sit for 3 business days. The following day, after the grout was complete, I came back to do what I always do, let the grout dry overnight, stretch the carpet to the tile, and the husband of this customer was washing the floor with a steam mop, not allowing this grout to cure, putting excessive amount of heat and water onto this, which any person that has been in installation or in sales of products that is cementatious with a grout pigment will tell you, if you overwash with water, you will distort the color and weaken your grout. In December, this all came to a head of 2014. At the end of 2013 into 2014, I came to the customer, I looked and evaluated her situation. I decided that this is something that I could handle and that I would help her. Not because it was my fault, because it was the right thing to do. I persistently asked the customer to get estimates to take care of this problem, and I would help her with this. Never said I'd pay in full, I said I'd help her. After reviewing my notes, reviewing my pictures of the job, reviewing everything that I could think of to make sure that this was not our fault, because if it was, I would take care of it in full. I asked the customer to get 3 estimates. She began to get those quotes. The first quote was for $800, the second quote was for around $1,500, $1,600. The third quote was for $2,800, which was the same amount that I made on a job that I spent a week there. I thought to myself, well, she's a fair lady. She's going to go in the middle of the road, just like she did with me. Because she was unhappy with anything that happened on her job, even though the installation was great, from the tile install, from her backsplash, to going above and beyond to cater to her needs, the grout was not my problem. She bought the grout, which warranted the grout. I gave her options with grout that I carry. She didn't want to use them. The long and short of this is that you can't make everybody happy. You really can't. For me to say that I tried and I gave it my best foot forward was enough at the time. But now standing back and looking at the situation, it's been on my heart for the past 3 years to try to rectify the situation. But I know good and well that the only way this situation will be rectified was to leave it alone and give it to God. But now these complaints online, they're not hindering me from doing work, because word of mouth speaks volumes over any advertisement that could ever be out there in the world. So for 3 years, having 2 complaints out of hundreds of customers I've served every year, I find that to be very minute. But then again, each customer is important to me, and I take it as if they're family. And I take it personal when there's an issue, and I try to rectify it right away. So I hope you guys understand where I come from on this. I hope you understand that I've given my best foot forward. And to have 2 complaints out of all these customers I've served, countless customers, I appreciate your time and your efforts to listen to me ramble and rant. God bless you, and have a great day.